I got some experiences, right? Twice married, twice divorced. I was taking in what Viz was saying, taking in what Bruiser was saying. Bruiser, you mentioned it's hard for women to give up their serpents. They just don't want to give it up. But what's even more tough than that is men establishing the rules for women to operate within those boundaries. In my personal opinion, I agree. I do believe it's hard for women to give up stuff, but I think it's even harder for men to tell them what they need to give up. It's a lot of dudes that just don't, that just won't do that, man. And they appease to women, and so women, there would be more women that would do it if more men had the nuts to establish his boundaries. And then my man Viz, you was talking about your OGs. First thing that came, you said 70%. 7 out of 10 of those guys that you approached, was it Viz or was it Trev? It was Viz.
Yeah, that was me.
It was you, yeah. You know what I thought about, man? That first part thing that came to mind. Those guys, oh man, we just been together for so long. We just, why not? A lot of men historically in modern times get married to women to appease her sensibilities, and he doesn't think about himself. Some guys do it just to have sex, and he doesn't want to have no problems. Man, we've been kicking it since college or since high school, man. I just felt like what. But if you gave him the opportunity, the choice to do it or not do it, a lot of guys wouldn't do it, or they wouldn't marry the woman that they're with. 70% of those guys, I think, it's probably higher than that, man. Who just jump into matrimony and and is going against his better judgment or what he actually wants to do, or because he's conditioned and taught to appease the sensibilities of his woman. We're told that her happiness and giving her what she wants will give us lifelong peace. We know how that works out. And that's what a lot of guys is pushing back for now. A lot of men are trained to suppress their power and not uh demand anything, or to go for what is best for him. But JR, marriage in the United States, man, has been, in my opinion, and I've been married twice, it's been destroyed by a gynocratic system of family government. Um, who wins in marriage a lot of times? Men who do not do what they're expected to do. Men who do what they're expected to do, be masculine, be strong, protect, provide, all the stuff that they're supposed to do in a marriage, they lose. It's only the guys who follow the traditional role, who do not follow that traditional role, are the ones that win. The soft guys, you know, uh, you know, if he was to provide and protect, he can lose everything. One of the big fears is, oh man, I might lose everything in a divorce. So she'll take everything I worked for. She took my pension. For those that were in the days of having a pension, she took half my 401k. That's what's happening now. That's because the guy did everything that he was supposed to do and everything that he was expected to do by his woman, by society. Now, if you got a guy that's in his soft guy era, you got a guy that's chilling and relaxing, living off his woman, going 50-50, he don't really have to worry about it too much because she might be paying him. And that's why they're giving a lot of pushback. You're right, you guys. Marriage is a business deal. It is. But now it's a lopsided contract. It just is. The original purpose has been lost in modern society. And in my opinion, man, government has gotten away. You asked earlier, is marriage a biblical thing? Absolutely, man. Marriage was established before civil government. Marriage was established before church. The Bible, if you read it and you understand it and you dig into it, it teaches that marriage is kind of like the pinnacle of creation. It's where everything started. A lot of people like to go to Ephesians like JR did, and read and reference what's written in Ephesians. But even before Ephesians, you got Corinthians, you got Colossians that talk about the role of a wife before Ephesians, before you even get to that in the New Testament. In fact, even in Matthew, I shot one of my first movies I ever shot in 2004 is when I shot this movie. It was called Matthew 26:17, Sermon on the Mount. And so I had to study that entire book of Matthew to understand what I was shooting and how to put it together. Because we built like at my barbershop, we took all my stuff out for the weekend and we built the upper room, basically the Last Supper. And I had it, but it was all black people. So this is something I did 20 years, I guess 20 years ago now. Damn, 2004. So I did that. I shot that movie 20 years ago. And in the in Matthew, Jesus affirms the covenant of marriage. This is before all of the other Bibles. I mean, all the other books. So it's absolutely a biblical term, but are we applying marriage the way we did before in the biblical days today? No. Now we're talking about what my man Law was talking about. Law hit it. It's business. Law, everywhere you look, the biblical side is almost removed. Nobody even talks about that in the West. We can go across the seas. We can go to other countries, and it's a different ballgame, completely different conversation. But here in America, the Bible part of the marriage thing is almost all but removed. All we talk about is it's a contract, it's business, it's love. It's because it's all these it's modernized, and it's government in infused with laws and requirements, and everybody, like I tell people, I say, everybody signs a prenup. It's just that who wrote it? Did you write your own, or are you going to use the one the government giving you? Because everybody that gets married got a prenup. You just might not like the terms of the one Big Daddy government is giving you. So it's just not what it used to be, and that's unfortunate. How do we fix it? I take a very hard red pill stance on that. I think that people just need to get back into the roles of what they are naturally wanting to do, not normally what they want to do, not what they're normalized, not what they're told and indoctrinated with, but what they naturally want to do. Women naturally want to do a thing. You show a young girl a baby, she naturally her nurturing comes out. Show a guy a problem, he naturally wants to solve it. If we were to get back into our natural state, as opposed to what we're normalized by with movies and music and billboards and YouTube and everything else, and news articles and everything that's just that we're feeding ourselves. I think somebody on here said we need to take a diet as to the shit that we're taking in. But man, it's so everything that we're taking in is filled with so many bad calories. We're getting diabetes on how we're supposed to have a good relationship. And I don't know necessarily how to fix that to get us back to what we naturally want to do now that we're so modernized. I always throw up these iPhones with all this easy technology, man. That's all I got.